In 2014, the world saw one of the most popular and high-grossing movies directed by David Fincher, Gone Girl. The works of this director are usually acclaimed by both critics and the general audience. His Fight Club, Zodiac, and The Curious Case of Benjamin Button won him a star on the Hollywood firmament. And when it comes to psychological thrillers, Fincher is number one. Upon the release, Gone Girl excited and mesmerized the audience. No one expected the main character to be a cold-blooded, duplicitous woman who takes revenge on her husband. The movie is filled with plot twists, so watch out for spoilers in our analysis. We also recommend you watch the movie before this breakdown. It's really worth your attention. Now, let's find out what's wrong with the main character and analyze her from a psychological point of view. Would you like to see more character breakdowns? Give us a thumbs up and tell us in the comments which topics you would like us to cover. Even with Ben Affleck's charisma and unpredictable plot twists, Rosamund Pike steals the show. We are on the edge of our seats following the story of her character, Amy Elliott Dunn, and only a few of us can guess the ending. After the film is over, only one question is left unanswered. What's wrong with Amy? The simplest answer is that she is a psychopath. The term is common, however, modern psychiatry considers it outdated. It would be more correct to say that Amy is suffering from a personality disorder, one of many. Analyzing the behavior of the main character, we can suggest that, according to ICD-10, she has an antisocial personality disorder. This state is usually referred to as sociopathy, и это продолжение я скажу снова, потому что. This state is usually referred to as sociopathy. Note that it is not an official diagnosis, but a common definition of people who deal with antisocial disorders. This type of personality disorder is deceptive. It can only be spotted during a close examination. Fincher managed to show us the reverse side of psychopathy that touches on several of our fears. The first is that successful and attractive people can be dangerous, unstable, and destructive. The second is the understanding that a person can lie every day and live through it with a happy mask on, like nothing wrong has happened. But such behavior is typical for antisocial personality disorder. At the same time, Amy has traits of narcissistic personality disorder. The features of narcissists are overly high self-esteem and an exaggerated sense of importance. A true narcissist, like Amy, needs a special partner who will correspond to their needs and ideas. Narcissists feel bitter and hurt when their partner doesn't pay attention to them. It's Amy's husband's indifference that made her take revenge and set up her disappearance. If you want to learn most typical features of personality disorders, join our course Clinical Psychology. You'll find out how to distinguish between a normal personality and a pathological one, what personality types are there, and which features influence the development of personality disorders. The link is in the description box. There are no clear causes of sociopathy, but we can discuss the factors that may trigger its development. The most significant are genetics, that is, Amy could have inherited this disorder, and upbringing. Children who experience abuse at home are more likely to suffer from this disorder as adults. Another trigger is parental indifference accompanied by overwhelming criticism. Note that Amy was the inspiration for her parents' popular children's books titled Amazing Amy. Amy from the stories has always been smarter and more successful than the real Amy. She couldn't stand a chance to compare with the unreachable ideal. A typical image of a psychopath, a person with an antisocial personality disorder, in movies is usually a man. Gone Girl is an exception from the rule. It focuses on a female character with this personality disorder. There is a common stereotype that a woman is, by default, sensitive and emotional. Gone Girl strikes the viewers by showing an emotionless and cold-blooded character. She is a textbook example of an antisocial personality. Amy lacks empathy and doesn't experience emotions the same way most people do. Yet she's a skillful improviser and imitator. That's why she can act like a normal person and have friends and family. However, she is a stranger to love and affection. In the movie, we can see that Amy doesn't really love any of her friends, her parents, or partners. All her relationships are benefit-based. Think how long Amy has put up with her parents only to get access to her bank account. Or they are based on a desire to punish and humiliate someone, which is also her main reason to take revenge on her husband. Lacking emotions makes it hard for her to understand what other people feel. This implies a lack of pity or compassion for others. She doesn't feel guilt or shame for her actions. This is why people like Amy usually behave immorally or commit crimes. She finds it easy to manipulate people and trick them for the sake of benefit. For example, Amy's friendship with her neighbor was fake inside out, and it was only a detail for her disappearance plan. She was never genuinely friendly. But why did her plan fail if it was so perfect? The thing is, sociopaths are highly impulsive. Her plan was elaborated at the beginning, but soon her actions turned chaotic and changed at incredible pace. The movie tells us about Amy's previous relationships too, and they all had a similar pattern. Amy treated them with cruelty and manipulated her partners. Yet her first relationship with Desi seems completely different. Desi met all the requirements that Amy had for partners. He was wealthy, educated, and with high social position. Why didn't their relationship work out then? From what we can see in the movie, Desi had a narcissistic disorder, just like the main character. It is manifested in his obsession with the partner's appearance and the status of their couple. They were too similar. Amy couldn't manipulate such a person, so she dumped him. The situation was different with Tommy. He was an ordinary guy, and Amy wanted to make him perfect to match her standards. When Amy felt they got more estranged because he realized that something was rotten, she decided to take revenge on him. Amy's relationship with her husband followed a similar scenario. Nick didn't care much about Amy and cheated on her many times. This made her come up with a sophisticated revenge plan. But even though her partners... Еще раз, с этого начну. Я забыла, где я сбилась, поэтому я начну с самого начала абзаца. Это Becoming Amazing Amy. Amy's relationship with her husband followed a similar scenario. Nick didn't care much about Amy and cheated on her many times. This made her come up with a sophisticated revenge plan. But even though her partners mistreated her, none of them deserved the tortures that the main character prepared for them. Neither physical nor emotional violence can be justified. Amy never admits her mistakes. The movie ends with the beginning of another manipulation. Sociopaths tend to justify their behavior and rationalize it. They don't understand how tragic the outcome of their actions may be and don't regret anything, just like in Amy's case. She believes that her actions are the only rational response to other people's actions, so she shifts blame on them. When she kills, she doesn't express even a tiny bit of penitence. She doesn't hesitate. So, in the movie, we follow Amy, a girl who has always dreamed of becoming better than the amazing Amy. In the end, she finally succeeds. Now she is in the limelight, enjoying fame and attention. Gone Girl is an attempt to look into psychopathic mind and show us how such people behave in real life. Another outstanding movie that breaks down a character with a personality disorder is No Country for Old Men. But in Gone Girl, the plot focuses on a woman with an antisocial disorder and helps break the stereotypes that we are so used to. The woman is cold-blooded, duplicitous, and disregards the feelings of others. And this image frightens us more than any horror would. If analyzing characters from movies and series is your cup of tea, join our course Clinical Psychology to get more competence in the area. You'll study different personality types and mental disorders, learn what triggers them, how to diagnose them, and see the thin line that separates the norm from the pathology. The link is in the description box. Наверное, все. Ну, тут еще потом я озвучу в этом экранном моушене. И ладно, последнее предложение тоже на всякий случай скажу, потому что я не знаю, это его или нет, но скажу на всякий случай. Did you like our breakdown? Share it with friends and let us know what you think about Amy and Gone Girl in the comments. Вот теперь все.